Okay, this video is a long time coming, but let's talk about one of my favorite characters from Castaways, Ethan, particularly him in episode 2, Mr. Popular. If you hadn't figured it out, Ethan is Mr. Popular. It's kinda obvious, but just wanted to make that clear from the get-go. Let's start with a quick summary of what I've already shown of Ethan's character. In the Soldier Poet King meme, I made Ethan the poet. This means that he lies a lot. He lies about his true emotions, and a lot of other things that are too spoiling to reveal, unfortunately. In the Dark Side meme, I gave a little teaser to his backstory, as well as a teaser to his personality. If you pay attention to what plays at each verse of the song, you can actually tell a lot about him. In episode 1 of Castaways, Ethan is shown in scene 2 as a friendly, popular kid. He's shown to be surrounded by a variety of different classmates, one of which clearly likes him, and one that is slightly jealous of him. But then we see Ethan's expression when he's called perfect, and he walks out of the room in a more depressed state, saying that he wants to get drafted in order to escape the pressures of his life. The song I wrote for Ethan, ironically called Mr. Popular, seems to show that no matter where he goes to escape, people will always find him and call him perfect, amazing, etc. So we can conclude that he doesn't want to be called those things, and he just wants to be treated like a normal cat. Now we get to episode 2, where things seem to take a turn for the worst when Ethan and Riley interact. And this is definitely where people were like, why is Ethan so mean? And I get it, because he is. The simple answer is Ethan has a snapping point. I didn't write this scene, but I imagine that as soon as Ethan's name was called in the drafting, he was surrounded by a crowd of cats that talked him until he was drained. And when he was finally able to escape them, he went down to the docks to watch the sunset while tossing stones to relieve his stress. And the last thing he needed at that moment was another cat to show up. To answer a probable question, would Ethan have snapped at, let's say, Enon, if it had been him instead of Riley? And the answer is yes, because in that very moment, Ethan didn't care who it was. Now to answer another probable question, is Ethan just mean underneath his social mask? No. Much like a person, and as well as every other character in Castaways, Ethan's personality will change depending on who he's with. He's not going to act the same around Sammy that he does with his classmates at school, or Riley. Just like how Riley doesn't act the same around him and Sammy. And also, much like a person, the more Ethan grows to like Riley, the friendlier they become with each other. And vice versa for Raleigh, but with her it's much slower. Now, just because I've explained Ethan doesn't mean you have to like him, but I hope that answered any questions you might have had on episode 2. In the meantime, I'll be working on episode 3. Bye! In the Soldier Poet King meme, I made Ethan the poet. This means... oh no, I wrote that wrong. Of other things that are too spoily to press state. No! And when he's called perfect. To answer a probable question, would Ethan have fucking bird? To answer a probable question, would Ethan have snapped at, let's say, Enon, if it had been him instead of Riley? And the answer is yes, because in that very moment, bird, I swear to God.